Happy Wednesday. Welcome to my channel. Wow, I'm really saying that. Um, all right, so my name is Gabrielle. I am a 30-something-year-old from Atlanta because a lady does not tell their age. But I'm here today, just brief introduction, a little bit about me. Like I said, from Atlanta, 30-something. Been living in Atlanta for about 23 years now, originally from New York, Long Island. I'm not gonna rep the boroughs because that's not where I'm from. I am from Long Island. And so is all of my family, but we all migrated south years and years and years ago. But that's not really what I'm here for. I'm here today because I just wanted to discuss with you guys a challenge that I recently completed. And I've been very, very proud of myself for completing this challenge. And I really felt a pull, and I felt like it was necessary for me to talk about my experience publicly so that other people know that if I can do it, you can do it. Um, and just listen, I'm gonna veer off to the side because I'm nervous talking in front of this camera. So you just have to bear with me. And I'm probably gonna be all over the place too, but just follow me because I promise it all makes sense. So the challenge that I recently completed was called 75 Soft. I'm sure you've heard of it. It is one of the new fitness crazes. It's all over social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, all over the place, TikTok, all the things. If you're not familiar with 75 Soft, it is based off of Andy Frisella's 75 Hard. I also brought with me my handy dandy notebook because I don't want to forget anything. So I'm going to open that up right now and just tell you a little bit about 75 Hard if you weren't familiar. So 75 Hard is a mental toughness challenge. First of all, shout out to all the people who have done 75 Hard because there has to be a level of insanity for you to do that, and love that for you. However, that's not my ministry. Let's just preface by saying that. So the 75 Hard challenge for 75 days, you have to complete two 45-minute workouts, one being outside. You have to drink at least a gallon of water a day, take one progress photo, read 10 pages of a nonfiction book, and follow a diet. If at any point throughout the journey you forget one of those steps or you don't complete it fully, you literally have to start over from square one. And that's insane. 75 Soft. I don't know who created 75 Soft. Shout out to them. But 75 Soft, the rules for that is you have to eat well. You have to drink at least 3 liters of water. You have to work out 45 minutes a day. And you can have one active recovery day, read 10 pages of any type of book, and you do not have to do progress pictures. So that was like the template of what I chose to do. However, ultimately, I chose to do my own thing. Um, a little bit of how I got there. So I follow a lovely lady on Instagram. Her name is Crystal, but she goes by Beer Bottles and Chainsaws. I've been following her for a long, long time. And at the end of last year, she was asking people questions about 75 Hard, if they'd done it, if they were interested in doing it. And once she got a bunch of feedback, she said, well, is anybody interested in doing it together? Like, we can have an accountability group. You don't have to do 75 Hard if you want. If you don't want to, you can kind of choose whatever challenge you would like to do. And I immediately say yes. Don't know why, but I immediately say yes. And this is complete, like a sidebar a little bit, but if you're into human design, my human design is a generator. And so for me, if it lights me up, I have to do it. If it doesn't, I don't. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And I immediately was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do it. And so I reached out to her and I was like, I would love to be a part of this group. And we started on December 15th, if I'm not mistaken, December 15th, 2020. She started a group chat on Instagram, and it was people from all over the world. I believe some people lived in Germany. There were people from like Italy, all over the place, and everybody chose what their personal challenge was going to be. There were some people who did 75 Soft. There were some people who did 75 Hard. There were some people who just eliminated dairy or sugar or whatever from their diet for 75 days, but everybody chose what worked best for them. And I chose 75 Soft. So Gabrielle's version of 75 Soft was you have to work out for at least 30 minutes a day, every day for 75 days. You have to drink at least 80 ounces of water. You have to read 10 pages of any book. I love to read, but I got removed from reading. And I knew that this challenge would be an opportunity for me to find my love for reading again. And so I was like, I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself. I'm just going to read. So 10 pages of reading a day, a day, and follow some type of diet or meal plan. My diet and meal plan of choice was Weight Watchers. Gabrielle has been a cute, voluptuous little thing for as long as she can remember. And so I've done Weight Watchers before. I've done it throughout the years. It works for me, Gabrielle. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me. And I knew that because it's tried and true for me, I said, you know what, let's do Weight Watchers. And so what that looked like for me was making sure that I tracked everything that I ate for 75 days consistently and that I tracked honestly everything that I put in my mouth. I said, we're going to track it. And the reason why I chose Weight Watchers is because Weight Watchers helps you learn how to eat in moderation. It helps you develop a healthier relationship with food. And for me, elimination doesn't work. When you tell me I can't have this, I can't have this, I can't have this, that's a surefire way for me to mess up. And so I said, you know what, let's do Weight Watchers. And so for 75 days, that was my diet of choice, my diet of choice. I hate the word diet, but that's what I chose. As far as like, what are you going to do as far as eating is concerned? I chose Weight Watchers. So it was tracking every day, honestly, for 75 days, at least 80 ounces of water, working out at least 30 minutes a day, and 10 pages of reading a day. And now for me also, the 30 minutes was just 30 minutes of intentional movement. I wasn't trying to put a bunch of constraints on myself because I feel like the second you make things too hard, that's when people kind of like digress. Or it's just like, you know what, this is too much. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And I wanted to set myself up for success. So I know that was a lot of words, but that's kind of how we got there. Now I'm just going to open up my handy dandy notebook. So let's talk about how life just be lifing. One thing that this challenge reminded me is that we have to make time for ourselves. It's so easy for us to say we don't have time. I can't find the time, all those things, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm speaking about myself too, because I've done it before. However, doing this challenge, I had to make the time for everything because it was me versus me. I was very competitive with myself. And I was like, nobody else besides like really a handful of people knew that I was doing this because I wanted to keep it personal. I wanted to keep it personal. And I just wanted to dig deep and like keep the promises to Gabrielle. So in the middle of all this, we started the challenge December 15th. I moved out of my apartment on December 23rd. And then for what I do professionally, I was called away to do a travel assignment on January 23rd. I flew out to California and I was there for 4 weeks. When I committed to do 75 soft, I had no idea that I was going to be working 72 hours a week and that I was going to be 3 hours behind as far as time zone is concerned. Mind you, I work 12 to 13-hour shifts. So yeah, all of this was happening while I was in the middle of this challenge. And there were so many days where I was just like, fuck it. I'm like, I'm not doing this. And then I said, no, keep the promises to yourself. Yes, you will be tired. Yes, there will be days where you don't want to do it, but you're too close to the finish line. I think by the time I got to California, I might have been on day 30 something, maybe, or something like that. And when you're in it, you're like, oh my God, 75 days is a long time. Like it's 10 weeks. It's 10 weeks. But in my head, I kept reminding myself the 75 days are going to pass regardless. So when you get to day 76, you could have completed the challenge or you could just be annoyed that you didn't and the 75 days have passed. So I chose to like really lock in and to complete the challenge. So a lot of my days looked like me waking up really early, going to work my shifts, getting off at probably like 8 o'clock p.m. I would literally get back to my hotel room. I didn't even give myself the opportunity to sit down. I would get back to the hotel room. I would change my clothes, talking to myself like, just change your clothes, just change your clothes and go to the gym, change your clothes and go to the gym. And I would go to the gym and I would work out for at least 30 minutes. I would use my Apple Watch at least 30 minutes every single day. There were days that I kicked. There were days I screamed. There were days I complained. I called my mother multiple times like, this is really dumb. I honestly don't have to do this. Like, if I just stop, nobody's going to know. But I was just like, no, you'll know. Keep the promises to yourself. And so day in and day out, I did that. I tracked all of my food on my Weight Watchers app. I bought this $7 water bottle from Walmart. Wasn't aesthetically pleasing at all, but it was 64 ounces. And I would fill it up every day. And I was like, okay, well, I know if I finish this, that it's at least 64 ounces. And then I would go from there. Most days, I drank well over 100 ounces of water. Um, and I read 10 pages a day. Some days I read more than 10 pages because I just really liked my books. One of the books that I read was Atomic Habits, for example, which was the first book that I read when I started the challenge. And it was such a great kickoff for me for this challenge. If you have not read it, I can't recommend it more. It is written in layman's terms, and it's just written in a way that anybody, adult, teenager, whatever, that you can just use the tools to create better habits in your life. And one of the things that stuck out to me when I was reading the book is basically envisioning yourself as a person that you want to be. And so that was helpful for me on this challenge because in my head, I was like, I'm an athlete. Like, I'm an athlete. And I had to keep in mind, like, okay, if you say that you're an athlete, or if this is how you want to, this is the version of yourself that you want to be, what does an athlete do every day? Like, what changes do you need to make now so that you can be that version of yourself? And so for me, I would be like, athletes work out, rain, snow, sleet, or hail. It doesn't matter. They just get up, they work out. They're mindful of what they put in their mouth. They drink their water. They stay hydrated. They move their body. They stretch their body. They take care of themselves. And that was something that I kept in my mind throughout my journey. I was just like, okay, we love the aesthetics. Yes, everybody wants to look fabulous. Honestly, it doesn't matter what body you're in. You're just as fabulous as you think you are. That's number one. Um, but I was like, there's a version of myself that I want to get to. And in order for me to meet her, there are certain things that I have to do now in order to get there. So I was envisioning myself as an athlete for 75 days. But yes, Atomic Habits was great. Let's see. Since we're all over the place, just a couple things. 75 days of consistently doing anything is huge. Honestly, 30 days of consistently doing anything is huge. This challenge taught me that it's not so much about motivation. Like, you're rarely ever going to be motivated to get up and go to the gym, even if it's just for 30 minutes. There are going to be a lot of days where you're just like, no, I just want to sit in my bed, or I don't want to do this, because especially ladies, your cycle still comes every month. Mine still came. And even on those days, I had to get up and I was just like, you know what? Maybe you can't lift weights today because your body feels fatigued, or maybe you can't do what you would typically do, but you can go walk. You don't have to run. You can literally go walk. And I would have to talk to myself and make those decisions to get up and still, in spite of, move my body. Um, but yeah, doing anything for 75 days, 30 days, 21 days, hell, you should be proud of yourself. Um, Little tidbits for me that helped me throughout the journey, as far as water consumption was concerned, I found that the earlier in the day that I started drinking my water, the easier it was for me to get through my 80 to 100 ounces. I am a morning riser. I'm a morning person. Once I'm up, I'm up. And I also prefer to work out in the morning, which was really hard for me when I was working because all of my workouts were in the evening. So it was really me pushing myself in order to get my workout done. But I would wake up in the morning and immediately just start drinking water. And for me, I was like, we have to have all our water drank by 8 p.m. because I'm telling you, if you're still drinking water at 9, 10 o'clock, you're going to be up multiple times in the night to pee. And I don't play about my sleep. So I was like, I'm just going to get this done early. So that was my trick on trying to make sure that I drink my water every day. As far as reading, I chose books that I really wanted to read. There was some books that I've seen that I've screenshotted over years. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this. And then I was like, no, buy the book and read it. So there were a couple books that I read that I really, really enjoyed. And it wasn't about, for me, like, oh, we want to stick to this genre. I just wanted to read. And it was nice to get enthralled into the characters and to just kind of be a little delusional or step outside of the crazy world for a little bit and just hop into a good book. So that's what I did with my books. And I brought my books everywhere I went. So if I had a moment, I was just opening my book. And you don't realize that by reading 10 pages every single day, you can finish a book fairly quickly. And we all have time to read 10 pages a day, because when we get that that screen time notification on Sundays, and it says you did 9 hours and 12 minutes of screen time, you have time to read 10 pages of the book. I'm just saying. Um, and I tracked, honestly, on my Weight Watchers app every day. And what else did I say I was doing? Worked out, I read, I tracked, and I drank my water. So yeah, that was it. I did that for 75 days. Some of the bullet points that I have, I'm just gonna read it. Do what works for you. Do whatever works for you. The challenges are nice for you to have a template, but if you're in a space where you're trying to just be more consistent, make it work for you. Everybody's day-to-day life does not look the same. Uh, Especially if you're starting out, sometimes it isn't the most helpful to just go balls to the wall. Like, take your time, ease into it, think about it. What do you want to do? You know, what is your goal? Write it down, make it plain, make it simple, and then just execute. Comparison will steal your joy. I know you've heard that before. Like, comparison is the thief of joy. So stay in your lane, run your race, and do what works for you. There's thousands of videos, thousands of pictures. The wellness and fitness scene on social media is insane. Everything is so curated. Everything is, let me just set this up, let me do this. The most curated that this video is my friend behind the camera right now filming me because I just asked her to. Other than that, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just yapping. That's one. Don't be scale obsessed. Take pictures and measurements. Believe it or not, I'm sure I'll probably ask Kelsey if she could just like put a picture somewhere here, somewhere. Um, you can visualize and you can see that I lost a lot of inches. I only lost 10 pounds though. So body recomp is a real thing. So do not get obsessed with the scale. Take pictures every day for yourself just so that you can look back and see the changes. But yeah, weigh yourself once at the beginning. This is if you want to do a challenge. Weigh yourself once in the beginning and once at the end. Other than that, throw that scale away. Hide it, throw it away, take the batteries out and throw those away so you don't have access. Something. Just let's divorce the scale in 2026, okay? Let's see. I already spoke about the water. The 75 days are going to pass anyway, said that, but I'll say it again. There's nothing soft about 75 soft. So I don't care what the girls say. There's nothing soft about 75 soft, especially the closer I got to the end of the challenge, the harder it became. There was a lot of cussing and screaming. There was a lot of like, I don't fucking feel like doing this. I don't want to work out. I'm giving you, my Apple Watch would say 30.00 because as soon as it hit 30, I was like, I'm done. I've done my 30 minutes. I'm done. Like the closer it got to the end, it got so hard. But those were the days where I was like, all right, motivation is out the window. Discipline is kicking in. Like we're too close to the finish line to stop now. We are too close. So I kept going. Keeping promises to yourself. This process just really taught me to like trust myself, to really trust myself, to know that I am capable of doing all of the hard things. I've been through a lot in my 30 something years, a lot of hard things that I never thought that I would have to face. And this was just another hard thing that I was able to do. And so sometimes we don't feel like we're capable, but we're way more capable than we think we are. Um, so yeah, it just taught me to trust myself, keep my promises to myself, because if I can keep promises to myself, then it's okay for me to have the expectation of other people to keep their promises to me. But if I can't keep promises to myself and show up for myself, how can I expect that of anybody else, whether it's in a platonic relationship, in family, in a romantic relationship? Like, you have to treat yourself the way that you want to be treated first. You don't need extremes, perfect conditions, or motivations. You just need to make up your mind. You just need to make up your mind. It's not easy, but everything worth having is usually not easy. But once you do it, it's like, damn, I did that because that's really how I feel. Like, I honestly feel like there's nothing that I can do. You can't tell me anything. I worked out every day for 75 days. Honestly, 77, because it technically ended on February 27th. And it wasn't until yesterday that I actually like took my watch off and was like, you cannot do anything today. So you can do the things. Um, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. I did that shit. You can do that shit. Um, I think we got to bet on ourselves in 2026. We got to bet on ourselves. We got to start doing the things that we say that we're going to do. We need to follow through. We got to keep promises to ourselves. We have to love on ourselves. Yes, we want to look good because when you look good, you feel good. However, for me, the goal was I wanted to feel good in my body. I wanted to feel stronger. And I also wanted to set up habits and put things in place for the long haul. We're not getting any younger. Things are changing, especially in the body of women, hormones, all types of things that we just have no control over. But one thing we do have control over is what we put in our mouths. We also have control over how we move our bodies because I don't know about y'all, but I want to be able to like pick up my groceries and I want to be able to bend down and tie my shoe. I don't know if I'm having children. I don't know if that's my ministry, but if God makes me mother one day, I want to be able to actually chase after my kids. I want to be able to chase after my 7-year-old niece because she's here right now. Uh, I just want to be able to live a good life. And in order for us to do that, we must take care of ourselves. It's imperative. Yeah, that's it. So that's my story. Okay, bye.